as a local champion, my role is to encourage people through the networks that I know, and I'm building in the Bundaberg local government area. I can really get into an area. Access is an area that I'm also very passionate about. So this is a way for me to gently have a hand in gently inviting other people potentially into the NDIS. Because what's the good of getting great supports and great services if you struggle to access the scheme in the first place? So that's where we're at. I strike this all the time in my professional role. Oh, Matt, I've got a question. I feel kind of silly asking it. And I always say, no question is a silly question, particularly when you're trying to break down barriers, be they external barriers or some of your own barriers that you're trying to take ownership of yourself. So, what people can expect is an open-minded approach to seeing whether or not they're eligible for the NDIS, and that's what it's all about. Because if you don't ask, you don't know. That's where the good people at ART and the Targeted Outreach Project can help. So by giving people like myself a chance to spread that word, I think it's a wonderful thing. The highest psychological need any of us have got is to feel loved and feel like we belong, feel like we're connected to other people and connected to our community. So I think by with the Local Champions initiative, it allows people living with disability to maybe gently look at us and say, well, if that person can do it, there's a possibility that I can do it too, and hopefully somewhere along the line, our stories relate in some way or another. I'm very passionate about people getting access to the NDIS where they need support. I'm very passionate about people getting the reasonable and necessary support that they require. And living with disability, you have support needs, and a lot of the time those support needs aren't static at all. They change over time. So that's the good thing about the NDIS as well, is that it's a very flexible system. And with this program, with the Local Champions Initiative and the ART and the Targeted Outreach Project, it's just another example of how flexible the NDIS is in trying to invite people who may not otherwise know about it into participate in the scheme. I'm pretty fortunate to have a number of professional networks here in town, and I grew up here, so it's just about the connections with people, the existing relationships with different stakeholders in the sector, and being able to touch base with many different people from many different walks of life. And I thought it was a great way of getting in touch with not only what I do professionally in my other role, but why we all exist on a macro level in terms of the NDIS and promoting it. So basically, in a nutshell, I decided to get involved because I want other Queenslanders living with disability to have access to the same opportunities I've had for whatever their lifestyle might demand.